There she is.
Yeah, finally. I mean, we did see her yesterday, but there we go.
Oh. And let's see where this game will go.
All right. First early rotations. Slow start here. They just want to get around the mid for a clear. No tell. It seems like they're both going to be exiting up top or around the center of the map for their first exit, though.
Okay. Something to note, very little leashing from the mid laners. They understood that it was going to be a 2v2 early on, jockeying for position. Anything out of the ordinary for the emblems?
Nope. Rupture still there.
I like common emblem Barats.
Yeah, he does need it because of the mana. It does help out.
And with that, quick rotations from Demon Guy helping secure the Little Wanderer.
Yep. One thing also I noticed, there's no Purify present for RSG, regardless of how crowd control is so present, or it's just Omega has a great amount of crowd control right now. Completed, they just need a flicker to get in and go in and out, and Matt is on level 4, by the way, in just 1 minute 20 seconds.
All right, so no one's seeing each other just yet, but Omega priming for an aggressive position around the mid. 30 seconds before the turtle spawns. I think RSG want to build an advantage there. They're just hovering around Louis, so they have a little bit more control from the bottom side because they have the explainer going around first. Omega, though, they're going to be looking to go up top.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
oh, they got bad intentions for Kusei.
He feels it.
I'm not so sure if RSG is ready for this kind of gank.
Oh,
All right,
no, they back
off.
away. They
All
back
right,
away.
5 seconds off the turtle. I think they want to jockey for that.
I think Lewis could be their prime target because he's not getting level 4 yet, so you don't want to see this if you're an EXP laner, so this is just the advantage of RSG. Clearly having a good start.
Yep. As expected here, Omega, they're still hovering around. This is actually quite contestable. They can try to go for this. It still looks good.
The turtle goes in, half health. There's
Whoa!
the flicker, the final slash, and the collapse. DK though still threads the needle, finds the steal. Nibor with a deadness welcome, throwing him over to the wall, but Matt survives, but only for a second more. There's a trade. Aqua takes one. Nibor for Matt. Turtle goes to the Raiders. What an opening bout.
Yeah, that was great for RSG. Omega, we have to give it to them. That was the perfect start to what they wanted to do. Lewis with a surprise play with a final slash, getting the members of RSG they needed to get, but Demon Kite coming out of nowhere to secure the retribution. Omega committed everything that they had for that initial setup, but they didn't wait for Demon Kite. Demon Kite took it without a problem.
Yeah, precise retribution steal against the Barangay. Clearly having the right time to have that final slash. We were talking about how he could actually be in trouble of just being delayed, but it wasn't just a problem even for Lewis. Even for the item build, he's just completely slowing through, starting with his own momentum DXP.
All right, so now we're seeing maybe glimpses of what the mid-game or power spike-based team fights might look like.
Yeah.
RSG's collapse is much better. I think Omega needs more items marked. Finds a big Minnow and Fury, and the EG dropping light like he's hot. And now Demon Kite looking for retribution, looking for a trade. Fails to take it on mark. Nibor, though, gobbles up Matt, spits him out just like that, and RSG can't trade. Small win for Omega.
And if you are a Martis, this is the starting momentum that you want to go with RSG.
Yeah, and Ryle is happy because the two members on the side of RSG, Light and Nibor, the frontliners, prioritize their Dreadnought armors, meaning that Ryle, if he can get the setups for him, or if he wants to set it up himself, will be dealing a lot of damage early on against RSG. And I think that will just scale slowly as the game will go on. So that's the trade-off there that RSG needs to face. West!
Oh no!
Oh, gold lane, gold lane!
Here comes Light. Fails to get the pull, and they move on. Yep. They are late to the party, though, because there's more of a Barangay presence here in the turtle. Approaching half health. Big skirmish up top. West caught underneath his turret as the turtle take continues. Matt and Lewis and Matt. Nibor, the nearest member, and the Omega squad score 1. Turtle 2 for the Barangay.
They completely split RSG in half. The focus was on the gold lane. Why?
Well, I feel like in terms of the positioning, RSG just felt that Omega was already there first, and it looked like they had a good setup there. At the same time, that is a typical thing to do. Second turtle, sometimes you can trade it for a gank into the gold lane. They weren't able to get the kill into the west, but they might be able to try and get a gank onto him, knowing that the Purify won't be back for another 40 seconds. That's why maybe you see Light hovering around the gold lane now. RSG are respecting the potential scaling that a Bruno can have.
Oh, yeah.
And now they
Speaking of
catch
which-
Light. Can they get him? And they can! Matt gets one with a decimation.
Oh, Matt, completely waken up from the nightmare of game number 1. This is just completely a great start. They're trying to just poke and harass Aqua out. They just want to take this turret up top.
And they've set up West for success amazingly. West in the West able to push faster, further than Kusei.
Now with a quick look at the items, 2 Genius Swans already built up for the main magic damage dealers.
G-dubs.
Slight advantage here for the Bruno because of the sequence up top just now for Omega. Ryle still happy, not a lot of magic defense. Yet on the side of RSG, this is the time for Omega, now that their Bruno is out of lane, to find fights wherein they can just be together, maximize the damage that the Vexana and even the Bruno can dish out.
Something else to note. Gentlemen, you notice that there's 4 flickers from RSG, not a single Purify.
Yeah,
It's so difficult once Mark and Ryle get the wombo combo of the Minoan Fury and the EG. Once it's in, there's very little out for you.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I actually like trying to point out. Like, how will they escape on the first thing that they kind of like miscalculated from the first turtle of the game?
Yeah. Sometimes they're just gonna have to take it.
Or trusting your mechanics, that might be it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just play better.
Play better, watch your positioning, all that.
Uh-oh. The conceal coming in. Light makes the call. Nibor first to the front lines. Lewis and Mark, a close unit, waiting for Matt to get the purple. Ryle blasts him. Sees that there is 1, maybe 2 in that river bush as RSG goes for the turtle.
Well, look at that. Check bush. Nibor's trying to
And
check.
there's the pull, the flicker from Light. He's offended. Mark finding an angle. Turtle at a 5th of its health. Demon Kai with the retribution. Smooth walking away.
Omega kind of knew they would actually lose that chance from Demon Guide, but they got a turret down bottom. They got pulled in.
Final slash on the big bad dino. Not enough damage. Check it out though, very quiet. West just working, pushing that bottom lane, tier 2.
I think for trades and objectives, West is still on par on what they want to do in this game. They
Yeah.
lost the Dragon Turtle, but they still wanting to have this success for this Bruno in this game.
Yeah, there might be some viewers there wondering, how come Omega didn't fight there? It looked like they were primed to fight. The Minotaur was in a good position, but again, it was 5v4. Kusei was closer to that turtle, while West was just in the, well, technically the east or south. It's the bottom. Directions, I'm not so good at it. That's why I need maps.
I'll give you a compass.
Thank you.
He was working.
Yeah.
He could have actually pushed if it wasn't for those meddling minions. He needed a little bit more time, and RSG got their candy and walked away with it. Again, say what you will about the 2K gold lead that Omega has, the 2 kills that they have ahead, but I'd say right now, mid-game, 8 minutes in, it's 50-50. We're back at equilibrium.
Yeah, speaking of equilibrium, if we do have an item check from a few seconds from now, we might see how the defense items are showing from RSG. Because if there's no Purify, they would actually capitalize on that kind of defense. Because if we could check on how they will actually be in par with the backline of Omega, they need to reach that Vexana or even Bruno.
Yeah.
But the front line is just too strong for the Barangay right now.
Yeah, so RSG, since it's still very close right now, Demon Cat, I think, is going to be a lot of pressure coming from him. Or just Light and Nibor talking to each other, saying, hey man, commit the ult for the entry, and then I'm just going to try to reach the Vexana afterwards, or back and forth. So there has to be communication between the Roman EXP here of RSG if they want to reach the Vexana, but then at the same time, Peel, because you're up against an Arlot, and then you have to watch out for the Minotaur. A lot of things for RSG to consider.
Okay, just RSG. Speaking of considering this another objective, 9 minutes in the game. Lord is up. Now who's going to be in the front lines of RSG right now? There's so much crowd control that they need to check. Because Vision, Omega clearly has a amount of it right now.
Well, the answer is right in your face. It's Nibor. It's the Barats. Again, I mentioned how there's very little Purify or cleanses. Once you hit the ult on the Barats, he kind of has CC immunity before he jumps in. So he definitely can at least confirm 1 CC. And now the dance begins. Matt and Mark up front. Ryle cocking it.
Lewis.
Coming
Oh,
in,
no.
Flicker misses it. The pull from Light, the counter engage. Down goes Mark.
Oh.
Demon Kite coming in from the flank. Lewis already down. Nibor gets another. It's a disaster for the Barangay as RSG gets a push off Cam and a Lord.
Instead of stating the most obvious reason as to why RSG want that, I would rather focus on, well, one thing that RSG has been doing now for 2 games, wherein Nibor is actually their roamer in a sense. Light is just sort of the follow-up pick-off guy. Nibor gets the information, Light goes in or commits the I'm offended as a counter engage to whatever Omega wants to try and do. So this formation that RSG is doing, it's a slight variation of what Naths would usually do in the EXP lane. He's usually playing more of like an assassin type or fronting alongside Light. Now they've changed it up a bit. Hey rookie, can you front for us? And then we'll have your back. But the thing is, they gave the right heroes for him so far. Game 1 Glue, Game 2, as you mentioned, Leo, Barrett's is perfect right now.
Yeah, it's just Lightning McQueen and Dynaco.
Huh?
Right now. We have Lightning McQueen and we have the guy from Dynaco.
I love
Ciao.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, you have the legend and you have the rookie.
Family.
A complete great combo with the Barras and the Ruby. How will Omega use that wombo combo again with this Arl? Because the flicker is down and Matt is holding on to this turret though.
Oh wow, Matt throwing
Wow.
his body at 4 members of RSG, saying you shall not pass, like Dumbledore in Star Wars, keeping their tier 2 in mid. Bottom lane, barely standing as well for Omega. The map is so red, gentlemen. RSG taking it slowly.
The itemization choices right now of this Vexana has to rush a Divine Glaive after this Winter Truncheon because at this point RSG has magic damage defense.
Okay, speaking of damage though, they're really holding on to this turret. Right now they can even go out. Just having the presence of Light in the positions that you don't want to be in, even just in the brushes. Look at how the damage is just rising up with Ryle. This is the only player in Smart Omega right now that has an advantage.
Yeah, and that's why I keep putting focus onto this Vexana for now, or for majority of it, considering the type of your lineup that you're up against on RSG, where they also like to dive. The Vexana will naturally deal the most damage there. West will eventually catch up. He's just a chunker for everyone. Ryle, in a way, is sort of like the main damage dealer in most sequences.
Yep, in the business, what you call the core.
The core.
The true core of Smart Omega's lineup. And again, I think West has to work closely with Matt. They have to communicate more because it's those two that will do the finisher. It's those two that will clean up.
Yeah, they're the cleanup crew.
Well, speaking of cleanup, is the damage now enough? Because we've been looking on the avenues of Smart Omega on how to bounce back. They're looking for a way to clear up some lanes, but how is the late game? How could be this window of Omega could actually work? Because we've seen from few minutes from now that if they miss the chance from the Arlet, things just go wrong in the wrong places.
Yeah, well, West already has the items that he needs to deal serviceable damage. Again, just waiting for that Divine Glaive on the side of Ryle. And then that's when RSG will start getting punished for their dives or for any mistakes that they might commit.
Here we go, another chance for Omega
There
to
it is.
maybe find the comeback. Looking for that Lord take. Looking for a big team fight so that Ryle can get his big ult. Lewis gets pulled in. Very good positioning. Eternal Guard crashing down on a Light. Look at the back line. Look at Demon Kite.
They're holding.
Pushing them back. They indeed are holding. A big knockup on the one. Down goes Nibor. Matt finds a decimate. Matt might go down here. But no! It's Light who goes down. West Side Killer in the building. And now Aqua with his passive gets popped by Lewis. Quick 3 kills for Barangay Omega. As the song goes, late game long, we're never gonna stop. They take a Lord. 14 minutes in, RSG can't contest.
Wow, at the right moment you said it. You guys perfectly said it. Omega completely bounced back.
They found the shot and took it, and they did not fail. Omega, I really thought there that it was a little bit off the mark. Ryle couldn't maximize the Eternal Guard, but then it was marked, who was able to counter back with a good Minoan's Fury to send the members of RSG back and get a key knock-up there. Now it's RSG reeling again. Omega have the items, Omega have the Lord. It's an even ball game.
Oh.
I guess
Wow.
that's one little finesse point of that team fight that we did not notice. It was the EG that kept everyone in, and then the Minoan Fury follow up. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that off timing that threw RSG off. Amazing back and forth here. And now it's OMG pushing in.
That is just completely the right mix of layer of skills. Omega, now they're marching into the base. A siege and a lord.
We go.
Turret
They're
down.
inside. They're inside. Could be the last team fight here, gentlemen.
Whoa!
EG plus the MF coming in. The base up next. West. Taking down the base. We're going to game 3.